Joining us now on the hotline for all the big news in the NFL. You can follow him on Twitter at Glazer, NFL on Fox Insider. Of course, the founder of MVP, Merging Vets and Players, and Unbreakable Performance. And I'll tell you, Jay, big deal coming up today that everybody saw on TMZ, how you are now offering therapy at your gym at Unbreakable. This is just an awesome, awesome thing, man. Congratulations on that.
I appreciate it, man. I think it's pretty groundbreaking. It's especially coming out of the pandemic, we couldn't wait to get back together and work out again. But, our mental health suffered a lot more than our physical health did. So I figured, look, a place like Unbreakable, for me, like I open Unbreakable, so I have a place for my mental health. My physical health helps me, it just helps me out. Helps me get the roommates in my head to talk a lot nicer to each other when I'm training, when I'm working out. Right?
Sure.
But, I look at that place as a mental health facility more than a physical health facility. So I wanted to put somebody in there where as our clients are coming back and they've been through a lot of stuff. Look, we've just been forced to isolate for a year. And figure what isolation is so scary for us that people in prison are horrified to be put in solitary confinement, getting isolated, right? And we were just forced to do that. And you guys know how much I work with vets, and our combat vets, they sign up to go to war. The rest of us, we just went through a war. We didn't sign up for this. Nobody signed up for a fight or for a war against this pandemic. So, who helps everybody through it with their mental health and what's between their ears? So I said, I thought it was really important that we could all have somebody, we could turn on to each other there because we are a team there, and the team helps us through the grave. For those of us who, for me, I suffer from depression and anxiety, but I think going through a pandemic, a lot of people felt what somebody like me goes through every day. And I know what, I use 3 therapists to help me through the week. I use my teams. I use my friends. I ask for help. I tell people I'm struggling, but most people don't know that's okay. So I figured, let me bring one of the people who helps me in, Susie Landolfi, who she's my therapist and she's the therapist for MVP. Let me put her at the gym also now, so our people there can come in there, they could train, so then go see her also. So, our motto at Unbreakable is we build you from the inside out. And the only way I could build you from the inside out is I really have somebody who, is a therapist and a mental health professional. And, man, we all got to do this together.
When you talk to other teams, Jay, when you make your caravan, you go around the league and you talk to GMs and coaches and players and everything, do they ask you about coming to you? What percentage of them say, yeah, hey, I'm really glad you do that. I really want to come here. Can I make an appointment? Can I come out to see you and go over and do stuff like this with you?
Actually, Sean Payton was there training this week. Sean Payton was there training with 4 rappers. He's in there with OT Genesis, and they're it was hilarious. But here's the other thing that I'm most proud of. Because, look, I've used my relationships to get inside information, to give fans inside information, and to also do a lot of things, like make things happen. And, people kind of rely on my take on, hey, do I like this guy? Do I like this guy? Will he fit my team? In the last month and a half, I'm proud to say, because I've spoken out so much on mental health, I've gotten 4 GMs and 1 head coach into therapy in the last month and a half. How cool is that?
Wow.
He's a GM and a head coach who always thought it was it was weak if they asked for help or weak if they talked to somebody. And, they now at least can turn to me and go, all right, we have somebody who seems way more messed up than we are, but who's doing this stuff, and we can turn to. So I'm proud I could use these relationships. And I tell them also, hey, guys, if you could understand those of us who live in the gray, right? If you could understand what it's like to wake up and have depression, anxiety, and just live in this suck every day, it'll make you so much better of a leader of men as a coach or as a general manager. Or, man, you don't know who, your secretaries, your cap guy, your owner, your fiance, your wife, your daughter, you don't know. So I'm really trying to destigmatize it where, they're kind of thinking it's okay. I think the NFL is so far behind on mental health than what it is. I had a team call me last year saying, we had a guy saying he's going to commit suicide. We don't know how to handle it. I know you guys are dealing with MVP. What do we do? So we're almost on the ground floor of what we do in these situations. So I'm putting it out. I'm putting every scar I have out there to let everybody know it's okay. It's okay not to be okay. Like, I'm messed up, but I'm good with my messed upness, man. And like, you know, up until recently, I always thought I was cursed with this depression, anxiety, and the gray, and it wasn't until I started speaking out on it and people started hitting me up, thanking me or telling me they're going to get help, that I really think that God blessed me with depression now, that I can help other people. And it's my life has changed in the last 6 months talking about it. I really never saw it coming, to be honest with you. I just always thought I'd fight this crappy gray every day of my life.
Jay,
and for the first time, I'm seeing a little blue.
Jay, how do you break down the walls then? Like, there's a stigma behind that with a lot of people. Yep. So when you talk to therapists and counselors, like, you made that approach. But for other people that have yet to do that, how do you help them along, make that initial step in inquiry?
Yep. I had somebody reaching out to me tonight. He goes, I feel so ashamed. I go, well, why do you feel ashamed? And he said, you reached out to me, and you're admiring me for doing it. Why aren't you admiring yourself for doing it? And that's the thing, like, man, God blessed me with the ability to communicate and this big forum where I could talk about it. So I'm trying to get people to know, like, again, there's nothing wrong. And here's the thing. I think what makes me messed up, I think these scars that I have, I don't think they damage me. I used to. But now I turned it around. I flipped the script on it. I don't think they damage me. I think they empower me. I think they allow me to walk in other rooms and go, okay, I don't know if anybody else in here has been through these dark tunnels that I've been through and came out through the other side. So I'm different. I'm good. And that's what we have to do. Like, man, all of us who suffer from depression, anxiety, man, that crap has run our lives for too long. We got to start fighting back together. And the only way to fight back is if we do this together and we start talking about it and we don't run away from it and we start stepping up there and go, yeah, I'm going to talk because maybe the guy over here and the girl over here, they're going through it and nobody else is speaking up for them. But it's important, man. It's an important message. And I think mental health years ago was different than it is now because of social media. Like, man, think about it. We're comparing our lives to everybody else's fraction of a second filtered moment. We all think our lives suck, even me. I think I'm getting left out. I think my life sucks half the time because I'm comparing it to somebody else's stuff. And it's just not, there's so much, untruth out there, and we have to fight that also. So, man, we need to fight this together. We got to walk this walk together.
As he was called on TMZ today, mental health warrior Jay Glazer. You can follow him on Twitter at Jay Glazer. That is at Jay Glazer. Jay, as always, buddy, keep up the good fight. Glad to see things are happening where everybody's getting back to normal now. It's we're all got our fingers crossed and everything is going.
Hey, we're back to normal because I'm doing the NFL draft for Fox Sports Radio in a couple of weeks on Thursday. That is my favorite night of the year, man. I can't wait. I cannot wait to be in that studio with y'all.
And we got Strahan's going to hit you with a big bucket of Gatorade again.
He's an idiot. The whole filling in his gap, I'm like, bro, that thing got away from you, man. I said, hey, not only that, he did it 3 days before April Fool's. That's like me fasting 4 days before Yom Kippur. It makes no sense.
Yeah. Take it easy, Jay. Be good, buddy. We'll talk to you next week.
Thanks for the forum, guys. Love y'all.
Thanks, Jay.
You got it, man. There goes Jay Glazer. Look, this is something that is obviously it's so incredibly important. And, to hear Jay talk about this, I mean, it's been tough for all of us. We're just coming out of what a year of isolation looks like. And certainly in some parts of the country, they've been coming out a little bit sooner. But all of us had months and months and months of this. And here in Southern California, now we're just starting to get to the point where we're going to reopen again. And I got to be honest, I feel weirder now that we're going to reopen than I did during, the lowest times of the pandemic, because I felt like, hey, well, we're staying at home and we're wearing a mask and we go out and we're doing, but now we're opening back up again. And not that I'm afraid of it. I mean, I'm glad we're opening up, but it's just, I don't know. I have this feeling of untetheredness about what's going to happen now and how is life going to go and how do I jump right back into what I used to do and being able to go to the movies and eat dinner inside and all of these things. And it's weird that I feel like now that we're coming out of it, I kind of feel weirder than I did when we were in the middle of it, if that makes sense.
Yeah, it does. I mean, more so now than ever in my life, I look at mortality. And I look at the people older that I love and care for that have passed away or that are, near the end of the rope. And then I look for the youngsters, like high school, elementary school kids. They've been basically locked down for such a long period of time. You think no school, no friends, like what kind of resolve are they going to show as they age? Because these are things they will never, ever, ever forget. This is like a once in a lifetime moment, and they have to endure it.
Yeah, I mean, the good news is kids are resilient.
Yes.
So they, when they get older, it's going to be, boy, that year was weird.
We are.
We are
really,
resilient. Really weird. Kids are resilient. They'll get past. It's going to be the adults, and how do we live and with a different way of life now going forward? It really is, and I feel like it's like, what do you do when you now it's over? Now it's getting to be over, and we're getting out to it, and that's going to be an adjustment. It's sometimes it's hard to just jump back in.
More Marlins games for us, right?
That's right. That's right. Great stuff from Jay Glazer. We got Jay on Twitter again, @Jay Glazer. That is @Jay Glazer.